episode 75 of Comics and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Lumpy.
And this is the review show that reviews comics. Chronologically. Kind of. Alright, we're finishing up our last pick thing here before, the next season of Batman starts. And it's my turn to pick a comic. And I picked a Spider-Man comic, Amazing Spider-Man number 121. I'm not going to give you the title because that's kind of the whole point of it.
Yeah, but I thought the title on the cover is Turning Point, isn't it?
I was going to say, is it Turning Point?
No, because they make a point to tell you we're not telling you what the actual
gotcha.
The actual title of the comic is until the end. So this one was released in June 9th. Well, I'm sorry. It was released March 13th, 1973, but it's the June 1973 issue for some reason. Marvel likes to do that. I don't know why.
Yeah, don't know why. Big news, though. 20 cents in 1973.
We're not there yet.
You just said what episode and everything. That's right there next to 121.
I got
June.
Get through the credits first.
I'm looking at the cover.
I'm not at the cover yet.
You are. You told me what month it was released.
I always do that, and then I go into who makes it. Because that's part of the credits.
I was so shocked by it, I had to say it.
Okay. Anyway, the cover was drawn by John Romita Sr. and Danny Crespi. This story was written by Jerry Conway, penciled by Gil King, inked by John Romita Sr. and Tony Mortellero, colors by Dave Hunt, lettered by Artie Seamack, and edited by Roy Thomas. I'm actually surprised there's no Stan Lee at this point in that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Especially for such a big comic.
Interesting. It does say, well, I don't know if you're there yet. So I won't say it yet, okay? We'll wait, all right?
We'll get in trouble.
We'll wait.
Right. We're at the cover now. You want to talk about the cover, Lump? Go ahead. Do the cover.
Well, it's 20 cents, in case anybody was wondering what the price
How much
was.
is it? How much?
20 cents, okay? 1973, it has gone up to 20 cents. It's a really weird drawing of Spider-Man up on the left-hand corner. He's kind of frumpy looking.
I think it's supposed to be that square, but he's just standing on top of the panel.
Yeah, and he just looks like he's just standing there bored.
Yeah, it's just a weird. It's not a bad drawing at all. It's just It's just oddly drawn. I don't know why. He just looks like in a weird stance. There's a bunch of pictures of faces, they're almost framed in each thing. You got the wrong person doing this because you guys might know, and I don't know if we should say all the names of the people or not.
Well, you can say all the names. I could, say all the names.
Aunt May is on there, and she looks like she's 300 years old.
She looks like she's a zombie, yeah.
Yeah, she looks really bad in that comic, in that cover.
So
who do we see? I see J. Jonah Jameson, Gwen Stacy,
Harry and Norman Osborn.
That is Mary Jane, right? On the right.
I see Mary Jane
Watson. That's Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
It does look like Johnny Storm. That's what I thought it was.
Well, they were friends.
Oh, okay. That's probably why they put him there. I was wondering what that was. And who's the guy with the cigar?
The guy with the pipe is the reporter, the editor from the Daily Planet, the guy that likes him.
No,
the guy with the cigar is J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm talking about the pipe down there.
The pipe,
I see the guy with the pipe.
Yeah, he's the reporter that actually likes Peter Parker.
And who's the kid with the afro?
Left?
I don't know who the kid on the left is.
Yeah, I don't know who he is either.
I thought it was a sheep.
Possible.
I'm looking through to see, but I don't.
I don't see him or her in it. I know he's got a pretty big 70s afro. I like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't read all the early Spider-Man, so I don't know. I've read bits of pieces of it, so keep clicking.
I was going to say, if you hear that clicking, I'm trying to count how many pages are in this, encyclopedia of a comic. You got
21 pages.
21
It is a very long comic. It was good, but it's very long.
Good, but not what I remember. Anyway, we'll talk about that at the end.
Anyhow, the main page is all those pictures of those people, and it's the back of Spider-Man bent over, going head first into the yellow background.
Yeah, and his Spidey sense is going off because someone close to him is going to die, and it's going to be one of these people. Which doesn't make any sense. Why would J. Jonah Jameson be one of the people he thinks is close to him?
I don't know, but someone he cannot save.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Someone's going to die in this issue. They're not kidding in this. There's also going to be a surprise supervillain in this one, too.
I don't know.
I know all the little things here. We'll get to them all anyway.
Okay.
Alright, you ready to go into it proper?
Yes.
Sure.
Right, so we open up with Spider-Man climbing on the outside of Harry Osborn's room as he's in bed with the doctor. So, he apparently took drugs.
LSD to be exact, yeah.
Yes. And apparently that was a whole story plot line a couple issues ago.
Yeah, apparently, from what I read, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it seems like he had a problem with drugs before and got clean.
Yeah,
and then maybe relapsed.
Harry Osborn suffered from a drug addiction from Amazing Spider-Man number 96 to number 98.
So, it seems like Spider-Man wasn't even there.
He wasn't, because in the last issue, he was in Canada, where he fought the Hulk.
Gotcha. That's where he caught a cold or something.
Yeah. So he's outside the room, and inside the room, the doctor's saying there's nothing we can do for him. It's, he took LSD, Mary Jane and Gwen are there because all of them were kind of friends at the time.
Yeah.
So, right, first page here, you think, oh, it's Harry. Harry's dead.
I want you to think it's Harry, yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just before we go too far, it does say Stan Lee Presents on this page, so you know.
Okay, Stan Lee, I think that says that on all the early Spider-Man, though. But he has nothing to do with the creation of this comic book.
I know, but I didn't want to. I wanted to wait till we were on this page.
Stan Lee is notorious for stealing credit of all these superheroes.
Stan Lee Presents The Amazing Spider-Man.
He is he's like revered and stuff like that, but he was kind of a glory hog and stole a lot of credit from a lot of people.
Yeah, and there's a little bit it's hard to say because my opinion on it is a little different. Like he kind of took all this and early on when he was doing this, he was putting stuff out there and using his name. So good or bad, whatever was going to happen, he also was taking the brunt of that too. So if he was
also the only guy showing up to comic book conventions and things like that for years and years. He was the big name,
Right. So like by putting his name on it, whether it was going to be good or bad, he took the brunt of that too.
Yeah.
So people can badmouth it all they want, and he did. Don't get me wrong. He did steal stuff from people as far as comics go, but he also was the one out there promoting it and putting his name on stuff, whether it was going to be good or bad.
I don't know enough to comment. I don't know enough about it to comment it. All I know is he's the guy that's in all the Marvel movies. That's all I know.
Everything, yes.
That's my point. He's put in everything, and none of these other creators get any credit for it.
I mean,
I'm not saying he shouldn't be credited or things for the work he did, but I'm just saying he's not the only one who did anything. That's all my point was.
No, but Stan Lee Presents The Amazing Spider-Man, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, I know. Actually, we should do Spider-Man 2 for an origin.
Or his first appearance. That might be the same one. That might be the same thing. His first appearance might be an origin story.
It could be. Could be.
Anyhow, so they're talking about how Harry took LSD, and then Spider-Man's kind of climbing down the walls, and he's talking about how he was in Montreal while he was battling off the Hulk in the last issue, it says. And then at the bottom of every page from here on out, there's like an ad or something, and I think it kind of ruined the tone of the comic.
It's weird because I'm like, it says continued on the next page, and I'm like, what are they talking about?
Right, like at the bottom of this one, it says, Mighty as the Hulk, that's the macabre man thing. I don't know what the hell that is, or what that means. Why is that there?
I don't know.
Anyway, Spider-Man climbs up the wall, gets undressed, turns into Peter Parker, walks in, and he's accosted by Harry Osborn, who says, he told you not to go near his son. I don't know what the deal is, why he's so angry at him.
Because he's crazy.
Well, he's crazy, but he's... Right now, he's also got amnesia. He doesn't remember he's the Green Goblin.
Right.
Yeah, because Spider-Man wiped his memory.
Kind of. Norma Osborn learned the Spider-Man secret identity in Amazing Spider-Man 39 to 40. However, selective amnesia, I don't know how he can give him selective amnesia, had prevented him from remembering his memories of being Green Goblin, including...
So he went in his brain and just picked those memories out? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I never read that story.
I was going to say,
right.
I don't know either, so...
So I'm just thinking maybe he hit him in the head and he forgot?
I was just assuming when I read this that there was something that happened where Peter Parker was able to, wipe his memory of it somehow.
It also said it has a panel of Peter thinking about the last time Harry used drugs, and this is where they tell you, in the already immortal issues 97 and 99, and then at the bottom of this page, in every fright-filled issue of fear, continued on the next page. What?
Yeah, what? What's continued on the next page? I don't understand.
I don't know, but Harry continues to yell Peter that everything's his fault, and then Peter has a PTSD moment as he remembers all the Green Goblin stuff. And then at the bottom it says, "It's She-Devil versus Mandrill, Shannon number 4, now on sale."
I know. Stop it.
Yeah, they just keep, advertising other comics at the bottom.
Yeah.
So apparently that's where that is. And then Peter, Gwen Stacy, and Mary Jane walk out of the room, and they're like, "Oh, Peter's here." And then Norman Osborn throws them all out of his house, and they're all sad. But can't forget, it's Daredevil versus everybody in Old Ironhead's 100th issue. Don't forget that one.
Is it? I think it's Old Hornhead's 100th issue.
There you go.
What is Old Hornheads?
Well, he has horns on his mask.
Daredevil, Old Hornhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It didn't interrupt the flow of the comic when I read it the first time, but you doing that definitely is.
It definitely is.
That's how I read it.
That's how you read it. Yeah, that's a shame. I really did ruin it for you.
I literally went down, and at the bottom of each page, I was like, what is this saying here? And this, after every page, it ruined the entire flow of the comic.
I don't understand why it says continued after next page. What does that mean?
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. I don't know what any of this is. Anyway, Norman. Norman gets on phone with some guy, and apparently he's going bankrupt.
The original Norman has weird hair.
He always had that weird hair.
No, I remember from the comics, but it wasn't this. It's very pronounced in these older ones, in the 70s ones.
Yeah. His son, Harry, has the same thing.
Yeah, Harry has the same lines.
I wonder if it's a perm.
Maybe.
They were big back then. Perms.
Possible, yeah.
It's weird. It almost looks like snakeskin or something.
Yeah. The red stripes are very funky.
Yes.
Anyway, so he's going bankrupt, and Harry comes out, and he's like, "I'm more worried about you than me, Dad." And then he faints. And then Harry's getting on the phone or Norman's on the phone to try to get a doctor. But don't forget a collector item from the Mighty Marvel. Nuff said. Continued after the next page.
Nuff said.
Meanwhile, Spider-Man swinging across town, which makes no sense. He was just with Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy. Did they just separate? He just got home. He keeps saying, "I want to talk to Gwen Stacy." Why did he go get dressed again?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, he gets dressed so he can get across town faster. Because if he stayed in his civilian clothes, he'd have to take the bus or walk or something. But dressed as Spider-Man, he could swing through the rooftops.
He keeps saying he wants to talk to Gwen Stacy. He was just with her. Why didn't he walk with her and talk to her?
Well, he had to meet his deadline first.
I guess. I don't know.
He has to drop his papers off to the publisher first, and then get back to talk to Gwen.
Okay.
And now he's talking about he thinks he's got a virus.
Yeah, he's got a cold. So he's going to the Daily Bugle. He drops off his pictures of Spider-Man fighting the Hulk, and the reporter, I feel bad I don't know his name, because he's a really big guy.
Is his name Joe Robertson?
Don't know, actually.
Because in the synopsis it says other characters, Daily Bugle staff, Joe Robertson and J. Jonah Jameson.
Maybe it is Joe Robertson. I know
it must be.
He was the only character that really likes Peter Parker and stuff, so he's a big character in it. So, anyway, he's telling Peter that he better get out of here before J. Jonah yells at him for being sick. And then J. Jonah yells at him for being sick and being here.
Yep.
Because he doesn't want to catch this stuff.
Yep. But don't forget, from Stonehenge to the pearl-fraught planet called Cathalos.
Yeah, I don't know why they're putting this on the bottom of every single page.
Yeah, and it's not this is why I'm pointing it out, because it's not just once every other page or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's every single page.
So Peter leaves, and he's going home, but he's feeling really sick, but he puts the Spider-Man outfit back on to get wherever he's going closer.
Yeah. But I don't like when he calls her Gwendy, either.
Gwen.
That annoys me when she calls it.
I think it's a play on Spidey.
Maybe. Well, I'm sure her name's Gwendolyn because she's Gwen, but Gwendy sounds weird. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like a nickname for her or whatever. But he wants to go have a talk with her even though he was just with her. Anyway, don't forget that Doctor Strange battles Witch and Wizard in Marvel... I can't read that word. Premiere. So the Doctor comes back to Harry's apartment and he's checking in on him. He's like, can't really do anything. He should be in the hospital. Sorry. And then Norman sees Spider-Man on this table, and he tries to go through it, but he goes right through him because he's seeing things. But even Doc Savage has never tackled anything like the monsters. Continue after the next page.
I hope people that are listening to this realize what you're doing and don't think you had a stroke or something.
But yes, I can see how that literally ruined this comic for you because
because
bad.
It's really bad now that you're pointing it out like that. Like I breezed through it after a while, but if you're doing that every time, it's bad.
I actually didn't do that. I read the whole comic and then went back and just read the bottoms.
All right, so after he goes through Imaginary Spider-Man, Norman Osborn's memories trigger, and he remembers everything. So he remembers.
And so apparently, before this comic came out, Green Goblin's been missing for quite some time.
Yes, apparently.
I got you. Okay.
So he remembers he's Green Goblin, Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and everything. So he goes outside. He stumbles through the street, goes to the warehouse where Spidey and a Torch versus Kang and the Tomorrow Men.
Yeah. That's the bottom of the page again.
Nothing to do with the comic, people. He's reading the piece at the bottom of each page.
And so he finds his Green Goblin outfit and puts it on, and he becomes the Green Goblin again.
I really like this picture. I don't know
the
why.
one with the pumpkins?
The Green Goblin picture with him with the pumpkins.
Honestly, the Green Goblin's he's a cool villain anyway, the Green Goblin. I like the Green Goblin.
I just really, for some reason, I like the way this picture was drawn. He looks like an elf.
Yeah, he does. He's got the weird hat on. But he has
I don't know. I was very impressed by that picture.
So he's the Green Goblin again. He gets on a glider and he goes. Meanwhile, minutes later, in the apartment of Peter Parker and Harry Osborn, because they were living together at the time, Gwen Stacy shows up and she's thinking about, how bad Harry is and that she wants to talk to Peter. And then behind her, the Green Goblin shows up in a window. But don't forget the tag match of the century, of any century, continued after the next page.
Wow, that doesn't even tell you what they're talking about on that one.
Nope.
The tag match of the century, any century. What? Oh, I guess that's, what did they say in the last one? Spidey and the Torch. I guess Spidey and the Torch are the tag match of the century.
Oh, so they're not even continuing the whole ad on the same page. You have to read the next page.
Oh my God, is it all connected? No, it's not. All right.
So, not only do you have to read a lot of things, you have to remember the ads at the bottom of the thing, just to remember what they were talking about at the bottom of the next
it's the tag match. Yeah, Spidey and the Torch are the tag match of any century.
Anyway, Spidey's swinging around, still feeling a little bit ill. He gets into his apartment, and he finds that it's trash, and that Gwen's pocketbook's there, and that there's a pumpkin bomb there. But Luke Cage takes on Mr. Beltari. Don't miss Hero for Hire, number 10.
What did you just say?
Oh, Mr. Death. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Like, what are you talking about? I don't
Mr.
know where you got that word.
Luke Cage. That was a good series on Netflix. Luke Cage. I like that one.
Actually, the Luke Cage comics are phenomenal. The
Luke Cage series was probably the best out of what's it called? The Defenders. I like the Luke. Well, I don't know. Daredevil was really good too, but Luke Cage was good.
I liked all of them, but I actually read the Luke Cage stuff and the Heroes for Hire, and they are actually really good comics.
I liked all those shows except for what's the last one? Yeah, Iron Fist wasn't great.
It's my favorite one.
No, it wasn't
Iron
good.
Fist is the best.
It wasn't great.
Iron Fist.
And then the Defenders series wasn't that good either.
No, the Defenders series actually sucked. It was not good when they did them all together. It wasn't.
I liked Jessica Jones. I liked Luke Cage. I liked Daredevil. I wasn't impressed with
loved Iron Fist.
Fist at all.
Did either of you watch the new Hawkeye show?
Only the first 2 episodes.
I did, and guess what? I have a new respect for the Hawkeye character.
Well, so you know the spoiler at the end then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't spoil it for Lumpy if he hasn't seen it
yet. Do you have a new
Wait, I don't know what you're talking about, TJ.
The villain at the end?
I'm not talking about this.
The Hawkeye show.
You guys can talk about this later.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. I did. Yeah. It was awesome, too, by the way. It was awesome, by the way. But then I'm not sure what happened with him at the end there.
Do you have a new respect for my comic pick from...
I do understand your comic pick. It still sucks. But
it does not suck. There's a revolutionary comic.
The way the Hawkeye character plays off that little girl is really good.
So I completely forgot that we reviewed that dog one and I was like, "What are you talking about? What pick were you doing?" So it took me a minute to realize what you were talking about.
Stupid revolutionary comic.
The stupid pizza dog.
Revolutionary.
Anyway. Back to Spider-Man.
Now we're talking about the stupid ad at the bottom of the thing.
Yes.
See, it works.
Just so everyone knows, that is a 4... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4... It's a 10-word little line at the bottom of the page. And if you had the actual comic in your hand, you may not even be able to read it.
It just causes like a 5-minute tangent, so...
Yes.
So Spider-Man has a pumpkin bot, and the Green Lantern. Wow.
Yeah,
the
Green Lantern.
Green Goblin has kidnapped Gwen Stacy, so Spider-Man's gonna go after him. He goes to the George Washington Bridge, and I read in one of the things that that's depicted in the Brooklyn Bridge, but I don't really give a crap. I just want to throw it out there.
I wouldn't know, so...
Yes. So apparently that's supposed to be the Brooklyn Bridge, George Washington Bridge, but apparently it's the Brooklyn Bridge, but who gives a crap? It's a bridge. But don't forget the master plot of the man they called Gideon.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
So Spider-Man finds the Green Goblin, has Gwen Stacy on top of a roof, who's unconscious at the moment.
I think.
And so they get into a fight, but all's revealed unto you in Fantastic Four number 135. Continue after the next week. And the fight continues on the bridge. The Green Goblin's smoke looks like webs or clouds or something, so it was throwing me off.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, clouds, I think it's just the exhaust from his, glider. So
Spider-Man's running up the bridge, he shoots a his web at Green Goblin's arm and pulls him back. But the blood of Bel Kissar, one of Conan's greatest, is now on Sal.
I like Conan.
I can't believe you're reading this after every page.
We're covering the comic. It's in the comic.
We are.
Anyway, Spider-Man pulls the Green Goblin and then towards him, and then he punches him. But the monster's unleashed number 1, now on the prowl all over the world.
Before you really speed through this, I have to say, the drawing in this is really incredible.
Yeah, it's the Green Goblin is a good. They really like to give him some detail.
I'm just even other pages, when Spider-Man is running up the bridge and stuff, Spider-Man is drawn really well. Whoever actually is the inker and the drawer here, it's really well done. My opinion, as I read this, I thought, man, it's really, really good drawings. It's good art.
Even the little tiny panels, they get a lot of detail in them and stuff, too.
Yes, I loved it, just so you know. Just so everybody knows, since we're going through this comic, we're not talking about the art enough to me, and I think the art in this is really, really incredible.
That's fair. But just so you know, Gil Kane's the guy who penciled it. John Romita Sr. and Tom Mortorello was the inker, and Dave Hunt was the colorist.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by these guys. It's my personal opinion. I'm not a big Spider-Man guy, and when I read this, I was like, man, this is really good. I like it a lot.
The art's good. I was just too distracted by the ads to really focus.
Apparently.
I know. That's why I said I don't want to discount, because we usually will talk about the art and stuff and a lot of our other stuff from Batman, and I'm actually really impressed by the art in this. Not so much the story. I don't know how I feel about the story, but the art I was very impressed by.
So, Spider-Man knocks the Green Goblin off his glider, and he runs to Gwen Stacy, but the Green Goblin shows up, and I don't know what he does. Does he knock her off? I think he
runs into her and pushes her off the thing. I think.
Yeah, they don't really show it, but he swoops in on his glider, and somehow he knocks her off.
So in the last panel, the Green Goblin knocks Gwen Stacy off. But don't forget, Dracula lives, but so does Morbius in Vampire Tales number 1, coming soon, continued after the next page.
I like Dracula and Morbius. That new Morbius movie looks good too, by the way.
I didn't see anything about it.
Yeah, I saw the previews for it when I went and saw Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Homeless. Spider-Man Homeless. I saw Spider-Man
I didn't see that yet.
It's good. You should see it.
Yeah, you want me to tell you about it?
I can't wait to see it. I didn't see any of this stuff yet, so been too busy.
Anyway, so on the next page, we get the infamous scene, man.
Yeah, see, this is not how I remembered it. Or how it was told to me.
Right. So, Gwen Stacy's fallen and Spider-Man's gonna catch her. He shoots it with the web and catches her, but you hear a swick sound and she's just hanging there.
But he's up on the thing saying, I love my spider powers. I'm not only am I the most dashing hero on two legs.
Yeah, because he thinks he saved her.
Yeah, he saved her.
Arrogant, and he's being arrogant and, because he thinks he's Spider-Man, I got this.
Right. Now, what does that say on the bottom? Because I can't read it.
Sinister Secret of Sithgar?
Oh, I see the rest. Learn it in Thor 21.
212.
212. So she's just hanging there at the end of this page. Yes. Which is strange.
But we get an ad for Thor at the bottom of this.
Right. After she's hanging there.
Yes. And then he brings her back up, and Gwen Stacy's dead.
Now listen, I was told he caught her around the waist and broke her back when he stopped her from calling. That's what I always thought. I never read this comic. I just from memories as a child and everybody talking about it for years and years. That's what I thought happened.
That's what happens.
If you look at that page, he catches her by the leg.
No, that's her socks. It's actually the web's catching her back.
Okay, so he got her by the back. Now, we get an explanation after this, though.
Yeah, the web's catching her back, but if you see it, the swick there, that's the web, but the snap down there is him snapping it back. The explanation is just Peter raging. He's blaming the Goblin right now.
No. The Goblin also says...
Yeah, well, I think that's retconned later.
It is, and I'll tell you after we're done. There's a note.
I get what you're saying, because what he says here was just trying to say, Spider-Man didn't kill her. Bullshit, he didn't kill her.
When he says this, I feel like they didn't want Spider-Man to have killed her. They were saying that on purpose. She would have died from the shock of the fall, and they were going to leave it at that, I think.
Yeah, but I think they realized they couldn't, and so...
Right.
But yeah, you're right. So, Spider-Man brings Gwen up, and he's like, you can't be dead. I saved you. You're not dead. And then Green Goblin comes in and taunts him. And this is where he says, a fall from that height would kill anyone.
Right away. When he says you can't be dead, I saved you, Goblin flies in and says, she was dead before your webbing even reached her.
Yeah, you're a romantic idiot. And a fall from that height would kill anybody before they struck the ground. Bullshit, it would have.
I mean, maybe without a heart attack.
Yeah, sure, but that's not an automatic thing that happens.
No, people bungee jump from heights, big heights, and they live.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, it was Peter webbing her, and then that snap that killed her.
So, I'll wait till you're done the page. we just found out Gwen Stacy's dead.
Yeah, we just found out Gwen Stacy's dead. But get ready for Tales of the Zombie coming soon from
what?
From Mysterious Marvel.
So Mysterious Marvel might bring Gwen Stacy back.
Gwen Stacy's a zombie.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is an original that we're reading.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure the reprints don't have this shit in it. But yeah, and the last page, you get Spider-Man yelling at the Goblin saying, "You're gonna pay, creep. I'm gonna get you for killing my girlfriend." And then it says, "At last, we can tell you the title to our tale, though it's one title we hoped we'd never see. We call it The Night Gwen Stacy Died. You can be sure the story doesn't end here. To be continued." But don't forget Monster Madness, it's a gas for latter last.
Yeah, they were kind of annoying.
Seriously, Gwen Stacy is dead. It's a good reveal, the name of the thing at the end. It's a good storytelling trope. Just like, this is the name of the story. The night Gwen Stacy died. It's a sad comic, and it's really emotional. But don't forget Monster Madness, You can't forget.
So, I get this little article here. It says, when this story came out, readers were unsure if the Green Goblin already killed Gwen Stacy or that her neck was broken by the sudden whiplash effect when Spider-Man caught her with his web. This was explained in the letter column of Amazing Spider-Man 125, where Roy Thomas wrote, It saddens us to have to say that the whiplash effect she underwent when Spidey's webbing stopped her so suddenly was in fact what killed her. In short, it was impossible for Peter to save her. He could not have swung down in time. The action he did take resulted in her death. If he had done nothing, she certainly still would have perished. There was no way out.
Yeah.
So that's where they retconned it. So
I was saving the reason why I chose this comic for this part at the end here. I chose it because you guys keep telling me I choose bad comics.
This was a good one. And a bad one, but a good one.
Yeah.
It was better without the bottom lines.
Yeah, you ruined it with the bottom lines. Cause it was better the first time I read it before you pointed out that bottom line every time.
You took a great comic and you destroyed it for everyone. Yeah. So you know, okay?
I hope anybody who's reading along doesn't have those stupid things at the bottom.
I'm actually going to find out right now if the digital copy on Marvel has.
I'm just saying, it ruined it for me.
Yeah. Well, it did because you could tell because you did in your brain was what we just had to listen to. So what do we get here? Oh, feature characters: Spider-Man. Supporting characters: Gwen Stacy, and it says death. Harry Osborn, Mary Jane Watson. Antagonist: Green Goblin. Other characters: Daily Bugle staff, Joe Robertson, J. Jonah Jameson, and it says Ray Doctor first appearance. I don't know who that is. I guess that's the Doctor.
Yeah, it's the Doctor from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a whiplash effect from, seeing Gwen Stacy dead and then they're advertising Monster Madness at the bottom of it.
Yeah, it was weird. Well, I liked that she was dead and they had the zombie one.
Yeah, that one was good too,
Yeah.
That comic is not available.
Wow.
What year is that? 86?
No.
73.
73.
So maybe I'm on the wrong ones. Maybe 64.
Yeah. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 121. This is a great podcast.
We're listening to him click around.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that it's not available.
I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's one of the big ones. Maybe they want you to pay for it.
Here it is. They put it in a must read, so it's not in the chronological thing.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Nope, it does not.
It should be in the chronological thing too.
They do weird stuff, but the notes at the bottom are not in there.
I didn't think they would be, because they realize it's very distracted and not appropriate for what it is.
They are not in there.
Alright.
And actually, to be honest with you, they kind of ruined it when they digitized it.
Yeah. Really?
The drawings are way more impressive
as they are.
Original.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm going to send you guys a screenshot of one of the pages just so you see it. And I don't know. To me, it's way better in the original.
Well, anyway, overall thoughts on it?
I liked it. It's, again, I don't remember it being like that, and I guess I just knew the story. I'd never actually read the comic. It was good to actually see the real comic.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I loved it. It makes me want to actually read, from the beginning, because I was really impressed by the art. I don't know if anybody could tell by my comments earlier, but the art was just really, really well done to me, and the story was really good without the bottom lines.
Yeah, I just wanted to do, it's the big Spider-Man story. It's the biggest one, so I was like, yeah, let's go do it so they can't bitch about what I choose this time.
It was really good, but you ruined it for everyone.
Of course I had to ruin it.
You ruined it for everyone. It was a great... I like that. I think that's one of the better comics that we've covered so far, but it is one of the biggest storylines, too, so it was a big comic for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Anything else?
Want to hear a Spider-Man joke?
Do you have a Spider-Man joke?
Yeah,
or are you just adding the word Spider-Man into the joke?
Why did Spider-Man cross the road? No. So if a spider bite turns Spider-Man into Spider-Man, what does a dog bite cause? Doberman.
Oh, God.
Come on, Doberman.